do an unboxing of our new ASRock Extreme 6 Plus. Now, the reason we have this is because the G1 Sniper didn't work out as we wanted it to. It has an old BIOS for an FM2 Richland processor. So you need to put a Richland processor in, update the BIOS, then switch that processor out for your new FM2 Plus. Now that can break the processor if you're not careful. Like, you can break the pins on the bottom. That's exactly what happened to my father. And so now he doesn't exactly like Gigabyte, mainly because when he went to complain to Gigabyte, they were actually rude to him. So we're not going to bother with Gigabyte anymore. There's plenty of other brands out there, so we need. So I'm going to get right into the unboxing. Now, you have all the normal stuff. You have the manuals here. Everyone reads them. Now you have 4 SATA leads. We have another leaflet here. We have its drivers and case here. Now we have our I/O shield. That's where all the ports at the back of the motherboard, they all go into there at the back of the case. Now even before I take it out of the plastic, through the anti-static bag, you can see that it is a very nice looking motherboard there. And it does actually have the A88X chipset, which is the highest for FM2 Plus now. Now, as you can see, it is a very nice motherboard. We did ruin the black and green, but we prefer performance rather than just keeping that one theme. Plus the case is black and green, the power supply is black and green. We don't really need it. Now, this does in fact have a few different things than the Gigabyte G1 Sniper. It has, if you want to do testing, it has the reset and power button on the motherboard, so you can take it outside the case and test it. And it has an LED thing where it will actually tell you what fault it is. If it has a fault, it'll come up a number, then you look up in the manual what fault that number corresponds to. So it has that. It also tells, in normal running, it tells you the temperature of the motherboard. Now it still has the FM2 Plus, but nothing different there. One thing is, it does have the 24 pin, the 8 pin, and for added power it has a Molex. So you have that for normal power supplies, and if you have a modular and you have an extra Molex, you can use the Molex here to give it added power. That is not the only difference with this motherboard compared to the G1 Sniper. The ports at the back are also different. It has everything. It has a display port, which the G1 Sniper didn't have. It has an extra 2 USB 3. Has HDMI out, as all new motherboards have. Has HDMI in, which means if you have a Skybox or a Chorus box, you can run that through your computer if you don't have another HDMI slot in your TV, or if you just feel like running through your computer. It has an eSATA port. It has 2 USB ports, the normal VGA and DVI. It has a lot more choices for you to choose from than the Gigabyte ever gave. Now we're going to install the I/O shield. Now, these either go in really easily or they completely just break your heart. And it looks like this one's going to do both. There we go, I/O shield's in. Now, it's just for the standoffs now. We have our handy little tool here. There's that. Now, the reason we had to use the standoffs there is because the ASRock is bigger than the Gigabyte, so we need to put in different standoffs. So, just in case you're wondering. Right, so we have our motherboard in our case now. As you can see, we have all of our holes lined up. You should see the gold in behind them. Now I'm going to put 1 or 2 screws in, and then I'm going to cut the video there because you don't really need to see me doing it all. You've seen me doing it on the G1 sniper, so it's the same way of doing it. It doesn't change. Right, so now we're going to install our RAM. As you can see, we have our motherboard in now. All the screws are in. Now the book recommends that you take A2 and B2. If you can see that little writing there, it says DDR3 A1, A2, B1, B2. The manual recommends that you take A2 and B2. So that's what I'm going to do. Here's A2. Now, as I've probably said before, there's a notch in the socket, same as the RAM, so you put it in that way. Put the RAM in and then push down on each side until it's in. Now, there's B2. And there's our RAM installed. Easy as that. Now, we are going to be using the stock heatsink for our APU, but that's because we're waiting on thermal compound for our Arctic cooler. So we're going to install the APU now. Okay, here is our Kaveri. Now we're going to put this in. Lift up the lever. Now you can see here there's a little triangle on the actual APU. And there's also a little triangle right there. It's going to be kind of hard for you to see, but place it down that way. And when it's placed down, put the lever back in. That's not going anywhere. Now we have our stock heatsink. Now there is 2 headers for CPU fan. CPU fan 1 is a 4-pin, and CPU fan 2 is a 3-pin. Ours is a 4-pin, so we're going to be using CPU fan 1. Now, lower this down, put 1 clip on. There. I just pull the lever, and there, it's on. That's not going anywhere. Lever's pulled down. Now to bring this around, connect into our 4-pin. It's as easy as that. Now we can cable tie it off if we want to. We probably will because it looks a little bit untidy, but for now it's okay. There's our AMD Kaveri installed. Okay, now we're going to be doing the cabling for the computer. Here we have our HD audio. It's going to be going in here. See it there? HD audio. Length could be a little bit of a problem. There we go, it's in. Now we have the USB. Now all of these are in fact USB, but we're going to be using the first one. Now I'm going to put in the 24 pin and the USB 3, but my hand's going to be in the way, so I'm not going to actually record me doing it. Alright, so we have our computer on. Just see all the LEDs now. We've seen it before, but just properly seen it running. Now we have our Windows in there. It's not here. Now, as you can see, it's found our SSD. We don't actually have the main hard drive hooked up yet. We can put in the SATA now. But it's found our SSD. So that's going to be our boot drive, just for fast boot. And we are going to go ahead and install Windows. There you can see our mouse. Now, it's just going to do the installing. As you can see, it's on part 2, installing Windows. Now, if anyone's wondering, this motherboard is in fact Windows 8 ready. If you were going for Windows 8, as most new motherboards are. Now, it's going to take a long time for this to happen, so I'm going to come back to you when it's maybe halfway. Alright, as you can see, we have Windows installed. We're on our home screen. Oh, Windows 7 on our new computer, finally. I hope you liked this video, because I'm going to put in the links for part 1 and 2 in the description. Please like and subscribe, and hope you enjoyed. Also, happy Easter.